You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You know you can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Call them at 763-441-1334. That's Extreme Exteriors, 763-441-1334. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can help you achieve your financial goals. New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Call me, Tony Crockett, at New Concepts Rental Management, 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit caimn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at caimn.com and click on Membership.
So we're talking about the underwear thief in Amesbury, Maine.
Yes.
Or Massachusetts, excuse me. He had been serving on his condominium association board, and once...
on the board as well.
Once everything came to light, he was removed from the association and removed from the board.
And what did he steal here? But it was 36 pairs of panties, 15 bras, 13 pants, 2 bathing suits, and a key to another condo unit. Yes, among other things.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah.
And so what a creepo. And the association, rightfully so, it sounds like the judge, even though they said we're going to suspend the sentence, and, you know, for someone who does a first time crime like that, I can see that, because it would allow the person to continue to work to make restitution, because let's face it, nobody's going to want those garments again, and he needs to.
He couldn't return the property,
and he needs to.
Oh my gosh!
He needs to reimburse them for the cost
for
the loss of things that were stolen, and so it makes more sense to do that, but you don't want a guy like that around. And let's face it, a restraining order in his home doesn't do any good, because he's within
50 feet of everybody. Yeah. You're right. However, it did go on for 8 years, so that's a very disturbing fact. I think.
And so, but the part that to me was really kind of disturbing, though, Tony, or not disturbing, maybe that makes me wonder, is it said that the association had to spend $2,000 in legal fees to oust Teresi from the board of directors.
Yeah, that seems odd. Does that seem like money wasted, maybe? I wonder why they spent that money.
It does, because here we talk about the search warrant took place October 17th, 2011. So last year. A year ago. All right. The search warrant took place.
So they found all this stuff. They arrested him, presumably back then.
Now you start working backwards in this, what people said that they had been losing had happened all before that.
Okay.
And if they had spent $2,000 and got Teresi off of the board here in 2012, it makes you wonder, well, why? I would think you could go to your homeowners, and instead of paying any legal fees or to get any kind of even consulting from an attorney,
Yeah.
I think your governing documents in an association make it clear that you do have, the association does have the power to remove people from the board of directors.
That's right. And it doesn't have to be for criminal reasons either. You would there's a process outlined in your documents.
That's correct.
Right.
So even if you have no cause,
That's right.
But many times you'll have things even written. It'd be interesting to read their governing documents. I know a number of governing documents that say that if someone does get into trouble, that would
if they're charged with a crime,
that would be cause for them to be asked to step down.
But in any event, your documents will tell you how to remove someone from the board for any reason. And generally that requires a meeting of all homeowners, and there has to be a vote taken, right?
Yeah, my guess is people were probably treading on ground that they just hadn't gone through before, and so they were paying some.
Perhaps they were
fees.
over cautious about that. Now, we talked about the screening of property management employees that have access to people's homes, be that a condominium unit or an apartment that's rented or a single-family home. Any employee that has access to someone's house or could get access to someone's living quarters has to have a background screening done in the state of Minnesota. It's called the Kerry Koskinen Act in Minnesota that requires that background screening. And there's some parameters. You can't hire someone or give someone access to a home if they've had certain criminal charges within a certain amount of time.
Yes. But you'll probably find that with many property management companies, even before the Kerry Koskinen law in Minnesota or in other places, it is standard fare that you will have a complete criminal background check
on
done,
all your employees.
Because it, especially when you're talking about people that might have access to individual units of people, and that includes all employees. And so, even though the association is not a management company, they are taking on the responsibility of management, and I can see why. It's a small, self-managed association. They still would have to apply with all state laws.
So you think in the state of Minnesota, a board in this situation would have to have all of its members get a background screening? Is that what you're saying?
Only those that would have access to keys to the unit. I know one small association. It's about 21 units, about the same size as this one here. And only two board members have access to the keys besides the on-site person. And so, yes, background checks
were done for that.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think that's required by statute? Has the statute covered board members?
Oh, I bet you no.
To be prudent, you would recommend that.
To
they
be
do
prudent,
that. Yeah.
I think it's always safe because anytime you're taking on responsibility and authority for someone else, there comes some duty along with that.
That's
and
right.
I think you have a fiduciary duty to make sure that everybody else is going to be safe.
Good thought.
So anyway, that's the underwear garment in Amesbury, Massachusetts. What an interesting story that was. Well, let's all take a good cleansing breath, shall we?
Yes.
And now let's go into our next story. And this is a property owner wins a lengthy turf war. The judge titles an order, and this is after everything has been said and done. The title that he gives this case is Anatomy of an HOA That's Run Amok. It's what the judge said.
Wow.
This is a dispute that a homeowner association had for over 11 years with one homeowner.
This argument went on that long.
That long, yes. And what ended up happening is at the Pebble Creek Homeowners Association, a gentleman, he's a retired Tampa police captain. He is a real estate broker, probably doing that now that he's retired from law. And he has single-family detached homes, and his lawn was looking brown and the battle was about the association saying, you're not taking care of your lawn. You're letting it just all die. So we're going to come in and we're going to take care.
They did come in
and replace all of your lawn at your expense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, he said, you can't do it. We're running, he said, this is during the time of a drought. He said there's a water ban restriction to being able to water once a week.
Wow.
And lawns aren't going to be able to be maintained.
Yeah.
And he said, plus, there are other people that have got lawns just like mine.
Right.
You're picking on me.
But nevertheless, the association went forward, replaced his sod, and then put a lien on his home.
Yes, they did. And so we need to take a break, so let's do that right now. But when we come back, we're going to talk more about what happened over this 11-year period and the ins and out of this HOA that had run amok. Back after these messages.